This ads plan that we're about to go through can generate 100K per month for your coaching business, and I'm going to go through it step by step so that you can have some big aha moments, see exactly how this exact ad plan works, and allow yourself to future pace exactly what needs to happen between now and let's say 6 months from now if you want to be able to hit those types of numbers directly from Facebook ad spend. Okay, so the very first thing is I'm going to actually put a line down the middle and I'm going to think about two different scenarios. Two coaches, they're running the exact same ad strategy, but one of them is doing it in a very different way, and I'm going to show you the difference so that you can see how you get to 100K a month directly from Facebook ad spend. So in this scenario, let's think about a lead magnet. Okay, so you're just running a simple ad strategy where you're looking for a name, email address, and phone number directly from a lead magnet. So people are opting in to get access to that thing. On the other side of the lead magnet, you're going to give them multiple opportunities to take further action. In this scenario, let's just say that you are like 80 or 90% of coaches in which you get people to book calls with you, and then you sell through calls into higher ticket programs. Okay, so let's run through an example of coach number one. Okay. And I've got like the worst writing in the world, but you'll be able to follow along, I'm pretty sure here, okay? And so let's go with red first because coach number one isn't going to be as successful as coach number two. So we'll use red as the brutal example here. So coach number one, so they've got £2 per lead or $2 per lead. So, all right, we're in the US right now. Ryan's here, he's come out all the way from Ireland. So we'll go with, we'll go $2 leads, okay? Now, this is very common to see this type of thing, especially if you are in B2C, and even more so if you have quite a wide net that you can spread. So if you, for instance, work with people in health, fitness, wellness, and things of that nature, then $2 leads are pretty common. $1 leads can be pretty common if you're in the weight loss space and things of that nature as well. Okay, but let's just say $2 leads, and let's just say you've got 1,000 of ad spend here. Okay. So 1,000 for ad spend, okay? So you're gonna end up with 500 leads, okay? So not too bad, you've got 500 people who have opted in to your lead magnet, giving you name, email address, and phone number, and you will be giving them multiple opportunities to book that call on the thank you page, during the lead magnet, through email automations, and if you're inside our program, we would also get you connected to WhatsApp Business so that you could start conversations with everybody that opts in. But let's just say 500 leads come in, and let's just say that you get 5% of them, okay? 5% of them to book a call. So again, we're not looking at the best of the best of the best of what's possible here, but 5% of them book a call. So you get 25 calls, and let's just say that you have a conversion rate on your calls of about 40%. Again, we're not looking at gold standard here, but just looking at this as an effective system that you can see, and you can see how it would work, and you can see how it could even be bettered than the example that I'm sharing right here. But 25 calls, so let's just say 40% close, so that would be 10 sales. Okay. This is where this actually getting shorter becomes a little bit more difficult for me. However, 10 sales come in. Let's just say for easiness of numbers here, you don't have a 2K product, a 3K product, a 5, a 10, a 15, a 20, or any of those things. Let's say that you just have $1,000, I nearly got the currency wrong there, $1,000 program. So with that, you've just made 10K and a 10x return, okay? So with this, you've spent 1,000, 500 leads, 5% booked calls. Of those 25 calls, 40% of them closed, 10 sales, which meant that if it was $1,000, you just made 10K, and you actually made, let's make a positive. Let's go green with this, okay? This means that you just made 9K of profit. So considering that you're not having to sign your life away, this is actually a pretty good scenario to start with, okay? You're not having to allocate 10K to your ads to be able to prove a system here. Instead, you can start with a much smaller ad budget. We start everybody between 300 and 600 per month. It's up to them really where they start, but between 300 and 600, it's 10 to 20 pounds per day. or dollars. 9K as profit, which is decent, okay? And we're gonna go into number 2 here, which is coach number 2, who is running the exact same system, but he is a little bit more bullish, or maybe not bullish, maybe they're just at different stages. This is the person who is in month number 1, and this is the person who has gone through the scaling process that you can also find on this channel, where we talk about both vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. I'll put a tab up here or a link down below so you can go and see that video. But this person here, this coach right here, has actually scaled significantly, okay? And I'm gonna run you through the numbers of exactly how this person, or this coach, coaches are people too, so it's fine. This coach, this person, has actually managed to achieve 100K per month directly from their ad spend. We'll now use the green because this guy is going to be really positive. And we're actually going to say that this person has scaled, which means that the lead cost does not stay the same. Now, if you scale significantly, a simple system like a lead magnet that is very successful, so if you have a really poor cost per lead from a lead magnet, it usually means that the lead magnet itself and the market that it's going to isn't very good, right? It doesn't really fit, and sometimes you can make a slight ROI, but that's not a situation that you want to find yourself in. If, on the other hand, you put out a lead magnet and you have a really good cost per lead, and everything's flowing and those people who are coming through are turning into clients, you tend to find that it is a proper, or I always say proper, it's not proper, it's a perfect product market fit, okay? And so when you scale this even significantly, you're not usually looking at the cost per lead doubling, but we're gonna use it as an example here just so that I can show you that even in a scenario where things don't go to plan on the front end, you can still have incredible outcomes at the end, okay? So let's say $4 leads, but this person here has been scaling for the last few months using the systems that are in the YouTube video that I just shared with you there. And let's say that this person is now spending 20K per month on their ads. Now, to a lot of coaches, especially coaches who are not making 20K inside their business on a monthly basis, they can go, that's ridiculous, I would never do that. You would do that. You absolutely would. If you had a proven process in which you were getting a 10x return out of every dollar or pound or euro or whatever currency you're in, if you were getting a 10x return on everything that you put into it, you would ultimately further down the line, if you had the confidence, if you had the person who could tell you, hey, this is safe, this is what to do next, you would end up in this position. Azu, who is inside the program, for instance, when he started with us, he hadn't made a sale in like 2 months or 2.5 months, and we started around here. So he was quite bullish. He was actually a bit higher in ad spend to start because he was quite bullish, and he was saying, you know, I trust you, I just want to move fast and get the data quicker. So he did start about 1,000 per month. However, well, in the first month we did over 20K, but now he is in a position where he does about 20K a month. It's actually in British pounds, so this would be more like 25 if it was US dollars, but it's about 20,000 a month of ad spend, but he consistently makes about 75 to 85 in sales, cash collected, which means that his profit is extremely strong at that level, okay? So sure, cost per lead can significantly go up, ad spend at 20K, and this is somewhere where you actually want to be. This is not scary, this is where you want to get to, and I'm about to share with you exactly why. So in this scenario, what are we working with here? We're working with 5,000 leads. Okay, so of the 5,000 leads, what did I say? 5% book calls here. So what you will tend to find is if the system works like this, so if it's 5% and 40%, sure, the cost per lead can increase, but everything else within the system typically stays the same, okay? Sure, on a week-to-week basis, something can go down, but on a week-to-week basis, something can slightly go up. But when you spread things over the data of month to month to month, systems tend to stay quite consistent, okay? Lead costs with scaling can go up, but everything that happens after the opt-in tends to stay quite consistent, okay? So we can look at this as 5% book calls. So this is going to be 250. This is fast maths under pressure right here. Okay, so 40% close on this. So that's going to be 100. So 100 new clients. And if this is at $1,000 per purchase, then this is going to be our target, which is 100K, okay? So this coach has just made 100K from 20,000 ad spend. Now, I want to point something out. A lot of people would think of it as a red here, okay? This coach right here just got a 5x return. And so a lot of people would say this coach has it better because they're getting a 10x return on their ad spend. This coach over here only has a 5x return. However, this coach here spent 20K and made 100 back, so they just made $80,000 in profit, okay? So the final thing here, and it wasn't the point of the video, but I really want to point this out as well, is that people obsessing over multiples of their ad spend and the return that it gets, they don't want to scale because they don't want to sacrifice a 10x return going to a 9x return. But what you tend to find is when you're scaling significantly, the lead costs can go up. The return can halve in terms of return on ad spend, but what you do end up with is much significantly more profit in the business at the end of the month, okay? And if this has been valuable to you, as always, do all the things that the YouTube algorithm likes. So like, comment if you're a really good human, subscribe if you're an even better human, and as always, I'll drop down below a whole bunch of free resources that you can use to get better results from your Facebook ads. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video.